is it possible, Paul, that the naira to the dollar might look so bad, but yet the economy might be improving?
It's not. It's practically impossible.
Impossible.
See, this is it. If an economy worth 10 million naira, and you have say 10% GDP growth rate, that will give you 1 million naira. That's what everybody in that economy. The economy could be 1 billion people. That's what they will share. If another economy is 1 billion naira and they have the same 1%, and the population is less, they're actually going to live larger than the one that have 10%, because what is available to them is more than what is available to the other population. So we should not be entangled in economic jargons. We should look, you see, the devil is in the details. We should look at when we say we have growth. I share something with you. Global projection. We have seen, what's it called now? Kigali. That's talking about Rwanda. It's an economy that is projected to a 5% GDP growth rate this year. Look at the small population and the kind of growth rate they are having. Even though their GDP size might not be up to Nigeria, the same international organization downgraded Nigeria to a bit above 2% from the expected 3% that Nigeria is they were looking at for Nigeria. What is happening to the exchange rate in Rwanda is not as bad in terms of devaluation as what Naira is going to. I'm not comparing the two currencies side by side. I'm saying in the current reality, why is this devaluation affecting Nigeria, a country that is rich in gold, a country that is rich in mineral and material resources, a country that is rich in human resources, and most importantly, a country that is rich in oil? Why is the exchange rate having a toll on our lives, having a toll on our economy? Why is it getting devalued so badly that it seems as though we are losing grip or control of our monetary system?
So let's bring it down, because look, I'm worried that a currency that doesn't belong to us, that we should not have any business with, is affecting the lives of those. There's some Nigerians that have not seen dollar before. There's some Nigerians that have not held dollars before, but yet the effect of dollar is affecting their livelihood. And I'm not an economist. I know little about economics, but then how is this so bad? I know it was Peter Obi that was mouthing so much of we need to produce, and from consumption to production in the campaign, he said so much about that. What exactly do you think is making us rely so much on dollar?
Now, dollar would have been nothing to us if we don't import as much.
So it's because we rely on foreign. So let's break it down for Nigerians to understand. How bad is our importation? So for anyone who is watching or listening, it means that virtually everything that we wear, we use, we drink, we eat, we have to bring it to Nigeria.
So the
from
point
abroad.
that some people impregnate their wife, they export and import their children to Nigeria. Is that bad?
Now, I'm now hearing now that the Chinese are now doing their own kind of adire, and is now cheaper than the adire being made in Abeokuta.
In Abeokuta, yeah.
Now, if you saw a native, the native is only sown here in Nigeria. The material is imported into Nigeria.
Yes. I have a popular
to the point
example
that
of
toothpick that is made from the wood that I can actually file a toothpick in my backyard is imported into Nigeria.
It is imported.
Sometimes salt is imported into Nigeria.
Sugar is 100% imported to Nigeria. All the sugar we consume. Don't believe me? Go to National Sugar Development Council website now. As people are watching, go to the National Sugar Development Council of Nigeria. Nigeria should have reached sugar sufficiency by 2017, according to the publication by the agency. But as I speak to you, not 1 grain of sugar.
How dependent is our lives as a Nigeria on importation?
We are dependent on the rest of the world. And if you are dependent
is it
on
up
the
to
rest
99%?
I would say that, okay, so this is what economics say. Marginal propensity to consume. So that people can understand it. For every 1 naira you earn, or every 100 naira you earn, how do you spend? So you can know by how much is dollar affecting you. And when we have this conversation, why is it not just, we are just speaking above your head. Whether it's somebody, a beggar on the road, dollar affects him. A consular, beggar, a organizer, dollar affects him.
Who does not earn dollar, who doesn't have any relationship
but dollar
with dollar
is affecting them. So this is the reason. We call something marginal propensity to import. So when you earn money, economists believe that money should be spent in about 4 ways. The first is marginal propensity to consume on local products. That's the first one. Two, marginal propensity to save. That is the first one. Is, if you earn money, what proportion of that money will you spend inside your economy? That is the origin of the good you are consuming from beginning to end is within your economy. That's number one. Number two, how much of that money, proportion of that money are you saving within your economy? Number three is marginal rate of taxation. What proportion of that money are you giving to government to build roads and so many other things? The last but not the least, but most importantly, what proportion of that money are you spending on imports, including SUVs that senators and some members of House will buy soon? Marginal propensity to import. The more your marginal propensity to import is high, what does it mean? It means that all the monies you work for in our lifetime, we are telling the rest of the world that I want this my effort to create job for whichever component has the highest out of the four. In the case of Nigeria, and people should observe very carefully, from their spendings, anything you spend that is not made in this country, you are giving job to another country. It's not that you want to. That is the decision. It's economics. Two, you are telling the foreign reserve, you are telling central bank, I want to take part of your dollars so that you can pay because this commodity is imported. You don't see it the way we don't see Ebola. But we know that when a man entered Nigeria and had that virus in his blood, he influenced so many persons in Lagos and got to some part of Nigeria. The same we don't see COVID with our eyes. But when someone catches COVID and the sample is taken to a lab, we test and we know this person has COVID. The same thing with this economic virus. So if anybody is telling us a lie or telling us a partial truth that we really don't need, it does not matter to us, that we should keep devaluing our naira, then the person is not telling us a whole truth, or he wants an economic
you said that, and I'm worried. You know why I'm worried? I'm worried that, God forbid anything happens to us. If you say we are so dependent on importation, what is being brought in Nigeria, that we almost cannot survive without outside world helping us. Even the food that we eat. But there is Dangote sugar. You said our sugar consumption is almost 100%.
Dangote sugar is 100% imported raw. Most of the time liquid. They come here, solidify it, and sell. All the cube sugar, only 3 companies have the license to bring all the sugar we are consuming in Nigeria. And this is not, is in the public domain. It's not even a secret. It's in the public domain. The report is published by the National Sugar Development Council of Nigeria. You can Google it.
What about food?
Most of them are imported. Most of them are imported.
But there was a time they were telling us that we are rice, in terms of rice production, that we are
self-sufficient. If you have excess supply, the price will go down. What is happening to the price of rice? Is it
what
going
about
up or coming
cement?
Down? We have sufficiency in cement in a way, but you can see the report that people can now even get money from central bank and bring. Although there is another website that says that cement is banned in Nigeria. So I'm saying that to a large extent, most of the things we consume in Nigeria, at least 75%, if they are portioned on the average, are imported. Imagine Chinese pull off all their output, all their production from Nigeria. Which phone are we going to use? Imagine India pull off everything they produce out of Nigeria. Imagine Brazil pull off everything. Do you know, not my figures, according to National Bureau of Statistics, we spend over 300 billion to import antibiotics. Not other drugs, just antibiotics. Not for 1 year, for 1 quarter.
What about the malaria medication? I hope we are not importing that one.
We are importing 100%.
Oh,
we have
Christ.
Some pharmaceutical companies that are making in Nigeria.
That is a major, everyone gets malaria in Nigeria.
But we are still importing. How about injections?
What about paracetamol?
We are still importing. We make some, we import some. So it is to that level. We are now wondering what is happening to exchange rate. We are asking, why is the parallel market continue to soar? Because can central bank respond to the quantum demand that we have? I doubt. So you could hear when the president said to NESG that he would ensure, which is a fantastic statement to make, that all the backlog will be cleared. The question is, how soon will this backlog be cleared? Because the reality of what we face with today is that in the real sense, our demand for foreign products, let me paraphrase it, our demand for dollars or any other country's commodity, because we have to use that exchange rate for now, even though there are other strategies we could use, is so high that we need to depend on the rest of the world, or their currency, in this case the dollar, for us. But the question is, for everything we are buying from China, what is China buying from Nigeria? From what we are buying from America, what is America buying from Nigeria? We are buying education from the United Kingdom, America, and Canada. What are they buying from Nigeria in exchange? These are questions we need to answer. So have we observed the need?
We are always giving.
We are always collecting. We are not giving. And you see, the word, God Almighty, forbids that. For me to remain living, we have to breathe out and breathe in. I cannot say I cherish my breath so much that I don't want to breathe out.
Even the Bible says it is better to give than to receive.
And he said the hand of the giver will be on top. So for an economy.
So is it that's the reason why our economy is always down?
Yes. I did a presentation on TED Talks, and I think it's on YouTube many years back. And I projected that Nigeria may get to this point. It is called from beneath to above. Nigeria may get to this point, at a point where we solely depend, especially on finished product. On finished product. Because which is more expensive? Is it the paddy rice or finished rice? Which one commands more price? Where will jobs be created as a nation? So we are getting to a point where statement is what is forcing down. Government must come up with action. And can I be sincere with you? We can do it.
Okay.
Irrespective of who is in office, we can do it. But we must ensure that for us to get to this point, we must move away from demand-oriented solution alone. We must get to supply-oriented solution. The problem central bank has is that there are no enough supply. Remittances coming from abroad is not enough to continue to cushion. People said, oh, central bank has stopped intervening in the market. That is why the currency is falling. Oh, so where have they been getting currency to intervene since all the while? Does it mean that suddenly they found it difficult to intervene? Or is it now that exchange is even more? Government is getting more. Is it not now that central bank should have more energy to intervene? What has been the remittance from NNPC
so let me
into the market?
Let me ask